due to Paul's influence, okay, and the Apostle John's influence. Paul was there a few years, John was there 50, okay? So Christianity became one of the primary religions in the city. I say one of, because again, it was a diverse group. Religious diversity, economic diversity, educational diversity, social, cultural, ethnic, all of that. And the church in Ephesus, I don't know what you picture, but whenever I say Paul wrote a letter to the church in Ephesus, I always pictured, not like this, but a group of people getting together in a church setting. Is that what anyone else pictured? That was just as a kid. Church, written to the church at Ephesus, my only picture of church was this. Well, in Ephesus, it wasn't a church. It was actually multiple churches that met in houses that were part of a network, if you would, of Christians. And so Paul is writing to this network of Christians. I'm sure he wrote it to one individual who would share this letter with everybody else. But they met in lots of different locations, and there was lots of people that made up this church. Lots of house churches, okay? You had people that were Jewish, that believed that the way to God was through the law. So you kept the law, you please God, receive your salvation, follow the rules, please God, get the prize. Make sense? That's what they thought. Additionally, there were other religions or people associated with this new church, followers of the way, that believed the way to God was through your intellect. So knowledge, wisdom, the more you learned about God, the greater understanding you had of God, the higher plane you would be on, connected to God through your intellect. And then other religions or faith groups or even people associated with this early church, they struggled with their old ways because the way to God or the gods is through your rituals, your practices. And let your mind wander there. This is a metropolitan Roman city. So through sacrifice, through illicit acts, through other things, all of this is playing into it. That's the way you connect to God. Because these ancient religions taught this, okay? So Paul is trying in the letter, more than just the few verses we have here, to dispel these false teachings. It's why the whole masterpiece thing is bookended by two thoughts, okay? The first one being, it's by grace you are saved through faith. It is a gift from God. So all this other stuff, by grace you've been saved. Meaning the only way to connect to God, you receive your salvation through faith in Jesus Christ. The only way to please God is to accept God's Son. This is free, freely given. There's not a price. You can't earn it by keeping a list of do's and don'ts, performing certain acts, doing good deeds. You can't do any of that. It's by grace. Grace is unmerited favor, undeserved. Meaning you don't deserve it. Why on earth would God save you if you don't deserve it? It's because He made you, He loves you, He has grace for you. You are a masterpiece, Paul says. The crowning jewel of all creation. Just like that song.